Closing the gap on Indigenous disadvantage has been a long-standing challenge, and that's an understatement. One remote community in Arnhem Land is trying to put the solution in its own hands. For decades, Indigenous people have been involved in the Northern Territory's cattle industry, working on stations as stockmen. Now, the community of Gunbalanya has embarked on a plan to run its own cattle operation in a bid to turn its fortunes around. Sarah Everingham reports from the Northern Territory.
The Gunbalanya community, 300 kilometres east of Darwin, sits in an idyllic part of West Arnhem Land bordering the Kakadu National Park. But like other communities in northern Australia, Gunbalanya's had its share of trouble.
There's a lot of problems up here and yes, need something to change, especially young kids to learn more. Problem was sniffing petrol. Yeah, that's got to stop,
4 years ago, the community was devastated when 2 boys died and a third suffered brain damage after climbing into a shipping container apparently to sniff petrol.
I have to stop all those silly things that have been happening. I have to stop and look at the future and go forward.
Another major concern is entrenched unemployment.
It's like most people, if you start work when you leave school, it's just a part of your life. But there hasn't been much going on here for a very long time. There's generations lost in work.
The elders are looking to the next generation, but the latest government figures show on average school attendance is just 45%.
That's the one. They want to do schooling, more bit schooling and more education, doing it high school, It's very important for a young kid now.
That's the way. William, keep going, mate. Block them up. Good work.
Now the community wants to take itself in a new direction to provide more opportunities.
Hey!
Locals have long held a dream of setting up a viable cattle industry on their land to provide new jobs. It's finally taking shape.
A lot of Indigenous communities have been involved in the cattle industry for generations. And so it's a perfect fit for them to want to advance that into the future as well.
There's already a small industry here providing buffalo and beef, mostly for the local community. But a major expansion is taking place with plans to increase the community's cattle numbers from 1,000 to 7,000. Other Northern Territory stations will bring their cattle here too to prepare them for live export. A new homestead's being built and 180 kilometres of extra fencing's going in to cater for the growing numbers of cattle.
It's really changed. Because new life coming up now for future for kids.
To get the project off the ground, traditional owners have enlisted the help of the Indigenous Land Corporation, which was originally set up with federal funds. It's leased the land and is providing infrastructure and on-the-job training for community residents. A small group of men has been learning the ropes. This week, 10 have passed a key milestone in their training.
Because I like this job. And it's really good for me.
In the past, Indigenous people have been employed on stations, but now they want to run this operation themselves. The plan is that in 15 years, the community will take the reins. For now, the Indigenous Land Corporation is managing the station.
And that one.
Jay Gook's been working in the cattle industry for more than 20 years.
And that one over there.
He's moved here from the Kimberley to oversee the training and mentoring of the workers. He's hoping to one day hand over the operation to the local community. In the year he's been here, he's already noticed a remarkable change among the residents.
Every Tuesday we have a school visit and you can see the kids light up, and the teachers say they like coming down here and seeing the cattle work and the horse work and the meat works. it's the age group we need to target.
They're not just expanding the pastoral station, they're also developing the community's existing abattoir to provide cheap meat to other remote communities and possibly even to Darwin. The Indigenous Land Corporation's putting in a total of $3 million. It's expected 28 Indigenous people will eventually be employed. The Indigenous Land Corporation's confident that in the long term both operations will continue to lift spirits and provide hope for the people of Gunbalanya.
This is an initiative from the community, and we found that initiatives that have come from the community are also always successful because they want it to happen.
Well, that's when I'm thinking, for my future, for my kid or my grandkid and family, I want them, to go forward.